Hey all you paper playing peoples, welcome to Inky Finger Society. My name is Arwen, and yes, that's my real name. Eve Star of the People, daughter of Elrond. If you're not familiar with The Hobbit, then you don't know what that means. That's okay. We're back. We started with this, a series with this. We did part 1. We made this accordion journal, or folio, I guess you would call it. And then the shop started getting real super busy, and I don't know what to tell you. It was going up and up and up before Christmas, and I said, oh, it's the Christmas thing, and blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, it just kept going up and up and up, and been super busy. So thanks to all of you that have been shopping with us. It's been very nice to meet all of you, talk to a lot of people on Etsy through our messaging, our shop messages, and it's been wonderful to hear about all the different projects that people are doing, things that I never thought that our supplies could be used for. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So where did we leave off? We were on part 1 and we made the journal, and then I made a video, part 2, putting a replaceable signature in the accordion folio, and the video ran long. It was about an hour or something. I was thinking, oh, I gotta edit this down, and I finished the video and I looked, and 5 seconds had been recorded. So I put this in and the video was never to be. It's very simple. I'll just go over it real quick. It's just a signature. You make the cover, but you don't sew the signature into the cover. You just sew the signature together. And then, after you do that, you just use your thread or anything. You could actually use a small ribbon or sari silk. You could use a number of different things, embroidery floss. And what I did is I've put, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. 2 eyelets at either end of the cover. And then also 2 eyelets through the folio. Pull the string off, tie it off. And then, because it's a small signature, if you need to replace it, you keep the cover, take out the signature, sew a signature by itself without a cover, and do the same thing, just replace it. Okay? But, as I said, that was the video that was not to be. So, now you see that we have a bit of unevenness in the journal, in the folio, sorry. So we're going to even that out by putting a notepad here. So we're going to do that notepad, a petticoat notepad. Well, you don't have to do a petticoat. We'll go over that when we do it. We're going to use centimeters, and I'll put the inches on screen in text so that everybody can get that, because I just can't do the inch thing. Just can't do it. I've tried. So what you're going to need is approximately 20 to 25 sheets of paper. Go through your papers and see. You can either make this super plain, you know, just a very simple, very utilitarian type notepad, or you can go through all your papers and get anything fancy. I've got some Sears and Roebuck catalog here, some vellum, some sewn papers, some pattern paper, coffee dye, got loose leaf here, got some Japanese book page, some Braille coffee dyed book page, another different book page, some stencil dyed lace paper, and some stenciled paper. Got some music paper that's upside down. We're going to change that over. That won't go over too well. Okay, so whatever you have handy, scraps, stenciled paper, some yellow legal paper. Ah, this is some indigo paper that this was a project, me and the kids, last year. We grew indigo from seed, Japanese indigo. We harvested it. There was actually 3 harvests in all. We reduced the leaves 3 times until we started getting the correct color and all the yellow and stuff was coming out. And then what you do is you let it dry out so you get the pure pigment. And it forms a cake in the bottom of the pan. You let it dry out completely. And then once you have that, you grind it up with a mortar and pestle. And then you create what they call a fermentation vat from that. And you add fructose and a couple of other things. And then you have your vat. And then once it starts fermenting, you get the little bubbles on top. They call it the indigo flower. It forms a kind of a flower on top of the pot. And once that happens, you have 3 to 5 days of dyeing until it goes off, until too much oxygen enters the vat and becomes unusable. Oh, well, you can use it. I think it makes a nice green color at that point, but the blue is lost. So, yeah, we did a huge batch of papers, and I have that in my Etsy shop. I think I'm selling it as a whole bundle instead of separating it for somebody who wants to do a blue themed journal. Here's some more. That's cabbage dye with gold thread. Some tissue paper here. Some wallpaper, more stencil dyeing. Some graph paper here. I love graph paper. I think it's so cool. And this is a piece of indigo dyed paper, and one part of it is dyed. What's that? Ah, that's from a package, the packaging of a pattern. Some Greek antique book page. This is actually from 1934. Some more Braille paper. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are going to cut your sheets of paper down to 9.5 centimeters. And again, I'll put the inches on the screen when I edit. Okay, get those all lined up and all down there. And just, you know, you can either create the length now by cutting them down if you want them all the same length. I'm going to tear after I put this all together because I want them all different lengths and I want that kind of torn edged look. Okay. Just check if we're still recording, not like the last time. And then you're going to get 2 pieces of chipboard. You can use a cereal box or some kind of food packaging. That's fine. And you're going to cut one, the length, at 20.5 centimeters. And the other one you're going to do at 22.5 centimeters, and they're going to be 10 centimeters wide. Then you're going to score. I don't know if you can see that. See where I've scored? Right there. You're going to score this 1/2 centimeter apart. In other words, let me just tell you right here. You're going to score it at 21 from this end. Yeah, let's put it like this. 21 from this end and 21.5. And that's going to leave you that little bit right there. Okay? And then the cover papers for these are going to be 22 by 9.5. This is for this cover. back cover. Then we're going to add this front cover, and these papers are going to be 21, I believe. No, sorry, 20 by 9.5. 20 by 9.5. Okay. I'll put all that up on the thing. But first, let's get back to this. So, since the video, I coffee dyed the seam binding that we put on the back of it. I don't know if you used seam binding or sari silk or something like that, because I decided instead of going with, if you remember the flip through of the original accordion journal, that was for Miss M. That was a more modern look, more clean, that type of thing, a more contemporary type style. This one I wanted to go with a more aged look. So I coffee dyed these. Don't worry about this because we're going to put something back here eventually. So I thought we'd start out by inking before we go adding anything else to it. I'm going to sand this a little bit. You can get these at Amazon. You can get these at, actually at Dollar Tree, a whole pack of them. I think they're like in 4 sizes. You can also get them on Amazon. Again, it's a pack, all different sizes. Probably about $6 at Amazon. So you're probably better off going with Dollar Tree. So I'm just gonna sand this down a little bit. And don't be afraid to touch the edge of the papers. That's what we're going for. Okay. And you see, if you go over it lightly like this in the corners, let me see if that will focus. In the corners, you get like a white edge on the paper, and that soaks up the ink nicely, and it gets really nice. Dull down these corners a little bit so it doesn't look super new. You don't have to do this if you want to keep it kind of new looking and more modernish. Modern-ish, is that a word? Then go right ahead. Okay, just gonna go over. Okay, now we're gonna do some inking. I'm using archival ink because it's permanent. It says coffee, but I've actually re-inked it with ground espresso, and I find that combination best for me. You can use whatever you want. If you have distress ink, it doesn't matter. I prefer permanent ink. If you can use vintage photo, walnut, whatever you want. I find this is less orange-ish than the vintage photo and then the sepia. So I prefer that. And I'm going to reactivate this a little bit with a little alcohol. With the distress inks, you reactivate them with water. Okay? But these use alcohol. Okay, so we're going to do our inking. And again, I'm going to speed it up. For this part that I'm going to do, I am going to use distress ink because I can't find this color in the archival permanent ink, even though they're both made by Ranger. So this is antique linen. It's one of my favorites. I wish I could get it in the archival ink, but got our accordion folio all inked up. Now we can start on the pad. Got a bit of ink there, that doesn't matter. We're going to cover that up. Okay, so here we have it. So we're going to corner these up. If you don't have a corner punch, or what are these things called? Crocodile corner chomper or whatever. You can just simply use a dime or a penny or a nickel and cut the corner depending on what kind of a corner you want. while that's drying, we can go to the other cover. So what we have to do is make sure these are all there. Yep. Clip these in. Make sure they're centered. Okay, I'm gonna clip them. I'll get my other clips. These, by the way, these clips are very useful when sewing signatures or having to hold paper still. Very useful. Oh, let's mark this out first before I put that on. Okay. Just don't want these papers to move. So, you can't see that. I just realized it. I'll mark it and then show you. Okay, so your pad should be 10 centimeters wide. You're going to mark at 2 centimeters from the left and 2 centimeters from the right, and you're going to mark in the middle at 5 centimeters. Okay, let me lift this up so you can see. So you have marked with a pencil here, here, and here. Okay. Put these clips back on. Don't clip over your hole, of course. Make sure everything is lined up. I don't like the licks of that. A little bit over. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to get a crocodile. This is quite thick, so I mean you can use an awl, but it's going to be quite thick. I'm using a crocodile big bite. What else could you use? I don't think it would fit in the, yeah, no, won't fit in the crocodile. Or will it? No, probably not. Maybe up there, I don't know. If you don't have one or whatever, all you have to do is use an awl. Okay, so I'm setting it on the 1/18 hole. Okay, so we can put this clip back in. Keep everything nice and tidy. Okay, and just like on a regular signature, you know, a book type signature, you're gonna use the measure 3 times method for your string, and a little bit more. I always add a little bit more. Okay, and you're going to sew this just like you would a signature with a 3 pamphlet stitch. Okay, So we're going to go in the middle. We're going to hold a bit of string there, and then we're going to go here, one side. We're going to go all the way down to the first one, and then we're going to go through, being very careful not to split our string with the needle, and ending up with one end of string over on this side and one on this side. And then we're going to tie off on one way and then the other way. And then you can cut this down, or I'm actually going to leave mine hanging. I'm going to add some beads to it and charms. Okay, and there you go. Now you can leave it like this, or this piece is a cover for here. I'm going to glue this and put it right under there. Just wanted to know where my stitching would be. Yeah, I'm going to round those up. Oh no, not the chomper again. Ugh. Good Lord, this thing. Look at that. Look at that. Awful, awful. Awful. 1 star. Let me ink this up a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit. Okay, so this should be dry now, or fairly dry. Let's clean up a little bit our work area. Okay, and we're going to petticoat this now. You can use anything, any straight edge that you can use. You can use one of these tear rulers. Oh, we got to put in our score line. I completely forgot about that. We need a score line here so that this can flip, okay? But I need a different ruler for that. Or actually, I could use the middle of this. Yeah, that will be fine. So you could use just the straight edge of a ruler, or you could use one of these rulers that have these, what do you call that, Ken? No, space in between. As soon as I find something to score with, there we go. Glasses, yep, there we go. Okay, this makes it really easy because you can see. Did I use the right side? Yep, I did. Okay. You hold it down while you're bending it. Bend it all the way back. There we go, and we can ink that up. That edge right there. Get up here. Okay, there we go. Now it's functionable. Okay, so let's start tearing. So make sure, keep in mind where your bottom is down here, okay? If you need to use your craft mat, you can. So I want everything shorter than 20 centimeters, I believe. Yep. Okay. Okay, and there you have it. Petticoat notebook. And close our cover. Okay, now let's clean up a bit. Lots of scraps. That's for sure. Okay, let's see how it fits. Where are we? This is the front of that, so it's over here. Now we're gonna put it, should we put it in back? I'll put it here. Okay. Get that in there. So now it's evening up a bit, chunking out, but evenly. Okay, and there you have it. Okay, we're gonna have a part 3. We're gonna start embellishing and adding pockets and tags and everything like that. And we're gonna embellish this signature also, and the notebook. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. I hope this all makes sense, and I will get a part 3 quickly. I will get it done quickly. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.